Hey guys. So if you're watching the replay, we're going to wait for just a couple of minutes. Just kidding, a couple seconds probably, get everybody on here. I'm going to share it into a couple pages.
Happy Friday for those of you who are not full-time stay-at-home awesome people.
Guys, if you're hopping on here, can you just drop down in the comments and let us know that you can hear us? We are not set up for this kind of stuff, so we're a little further away from the camera than we normally are, which is fine.
She had to put it far away to fit my body into the camera.
His sexiness had to fit in here.
It almost didn't fit just because, you know.
You're dumb.
Awesomeness.
Alright, I'm sharing this. And then I'm going to be watching from my phone because I am blind as a bat. I definitely cannot see the screen. So I'm going to be watching for your comments on the actual live. Maybe. Okay, perfect. Jennifer's on here. She's the one that just signed up like 2 days ago and just signed her first customer off Host to Host.
Nice. Good job, Jennifer.
So this is my husband. He is the second part of this business that y'all don't see that much because he kind of works behind the scenes a little bit more.
Unless you're on my Facebook page, then you see this beautiful face every day.
That's true. That's true. Not today though, because he posted me today. So yeah.
On my Facebook page, yes.
He actually likes me. Okay.
Sometimes.
You're dumb. Okay. Hi Heather. Okay, awesome. We got several of y'all on here. Okay, so I'm watching the comments. He can actually watch the comments too. If you guys have questions as we go along, ask them. This is something that I was reading my Bible this morning, and it kind of jumped out at me. We usually do a 7 o'clock work Zoom at this time. Oh, let me also make sure no one's waiting to get in this page. Okay. We usually do a work Zoom at this time, so I wanted to basically scratch that, not take up any more of y'all's time, but still get on and share this with you. So it's going to be educational. It's going to be a little bit of a red coming out. I definitely get nervous teaching in front of him. I don't usually teach in front of him at all. So, and then he's going to jump in a few parts and share his thoughts on this as well. So I was reading in Matthew 13, 4 through 8, and it was talking about the parable of the sower. So I think because our team is made up of who it's made up, I think most of y'all know what that is. But the parable of the sower is basically talks about a sower, which is a planter, sowing seeds and how some actually sprout, some don't, and kind of goes into why. So immediately I started thinking, okay, that literally is just like a distributor planting seeds. And when you go out and you talk to people, and specifically I'm talking about distributors at this point, not customers, but you could go for customers too. When you're talking to people, how some sprout and some don't, and some sprout up and then they die, and kind of going through just the little bit of psychology, I guess, behind that. So, like I said, if you got questions, feel free to ask as we go along.
Am I the only person when she talks about a sower is some guy, some big overalls with a big old hat and a straw sticking out of his mouth? That's exactly what I think of. But that's just me.
Back in the Bible days, they probably just wore some like
actually they probably didn't wear a whole
cloth
lot of
or something, right?
They probably had some little sumo wrestler thong on and not a whole lot else.
All right, I prefer the bib overalls. So when I was reading through this, I have a living word or living translation. I don't remember a Bible. So it gives you the Bible in KJV, and then at the bottom, it basically kind of breaks the psychology down behind it and like how you apply it to your actual life. I think it's called the Life Application Bible. That's what it's called. So it was saying how verses 4 through 8 is actually encouragement to the sower. Now, obviously, the parable is not talking about network marketing, so nobody come at me like I get that this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. It just inspired what I'm talking about. The actual verse is talking about we go out as Christians and we tell people about Jesus and we spread the good news and salvation. So 4 through 8 is talking about how all the different people that you come across, the ones that talk to you, the ones that slam the door in your face, the ones that talk to you and then say, oh, I go to church on Easter, I'm good. Like, you get all the different ones. So it really spoke to me as, okay, we get all kinds of different people when we're talking about the distributorship and the opportunity and everything this business does. So the Bible ends that by saying, basically, if you have ears, you can hear. So it's telling the sower, don't prejudge who you're talking to. Your job is not to go figure out who wants this. Your job is just to share. Like, God takes care of the rest. Your job is to go out and be the feet to his mouth. So then when you go down a little bit further to verse 18, it talks about the 4 different kinds of soil, and that's what I really wanted to touch on with distributors. Hey, Billy, Brittany, Julie, Elizabeth. Okay, awesome, guys. The 4 different kinds of distributors. Now, I want you to drop in the comments which one you were the first time that you heard this. So the first type of distributor is the hardened one. It's the one that, again, before you're a distributor, you were a prospect, the first time someone talked to you about network marketing. The hard one is the one that they've heard all the horror stories. They themselves might have been a horror story. His parents were in an MLM that they built up to basically double diamond, and then the MLM just shut its doors because they did something illegal and they got shut down. And his parents followed that CEO to another MLM that they started. And then that one, I don't remember if it went bankrupt or whatever, but it shut down. They followed them to a third one. So he was in a world of seeing network marketing basically just screw over people. I don't have a background as a kid in network marketing, but when we started dating, or I guess a little after we started dating, I started selling makeup. I ended up getting out of that company because my enroller was funding her makeup business by stealing her roommate's rent money. Her roommates were my best friends from college. That's how I met her in the first place. So when someone came to me about It Works, I was like, yeah, been there, done that, definitely not interested. I said no for 2 years. I was the worst prospect. I went on that person's page and I would comment mean things on their before and after pictures, be like, yeah, you can tell that's photoshopped. I would have blocked me. Not sure why she didn't. Well, I know now because she's not in this company anymore because she's super smart. So that's probably why she didn't block me. But I'm thankful she didn't block me. So that was me. If you were the hardened prospect, drop a 1 down in the comments. You had no intention of ever joining a network marketing company. Now, those kind of people, if they do finally join, they are skeptical of everything you tell them. It doesn't matter how many one-on-one conversations you have with them. Brett. They are the ones that it doesn't matter what you tell them or how good of a relationship you build, they go fact check whatever you're saying because they're convinced you're trying to pull the wool over their eyes. And that was me for probably almost 2 years in this company. Like, I had already hit diamond. I wasn't making good money because I was being really stupid and not building the right way. But I was making enough money I should have been a believer, and I just knew, like, the company was hiding something, Mark was hiding something. Like, I did a lot of digging in a lot of places that I probably should have kept my nose out of, but for me, it ended up being good at least. The second type of distributor is the shallow distributor. So the shallow distributor, they're the prospect that when you talk to them, all they want to know is how much does it cost? If it's more than like $10, I'm good, I don't want to do it. Or all they talk about is, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. You have to pay for it, it's a pyramid scheme. They don't realize all the money you put into a regular job. Like, he wears steel-toe boots to his job. They don't pay for them. I think they give him a voucher for part of them, but he's supposed to pay out of pocket for part of it. They don't pay for your gas to and from work. They don't pay for the lunch while you're there. Like, every job you're putting some kind of money into it. You're just having to look at it a little different way. So they're the shallow one. If you ever finally get them to join, they get that first check and it's like $20 and they peace out because they are not millionaires yet. They wanted a get rich quick scheme. They have little to no work ethic. Now, everyone watching this, I don't think anyone's going to be a number 2 on here because you wouldn't be watching this if you were. Now, one of y'all might shock me, and that's fine. I will say I maybe had a little bit of a 2 mindset for a while, but I never had a 2 work ethic just because of the way I grew up. Like, not working wasn't an option. So I had that, but I think I toyed with the mindset a little bit. Number 3 is the distracted one. So number 3 is that prospect that you come to, and it does not matter what you can tell them, they don't have time. They could be in the same position you were when you started, and their position is so much worse, and they just don't have time. I went from being a hardened one to being a distracted one. Because the distracted ones, when they do join, it works as at the bottom of their list. And I will say, me personally, anybody else ever tried to do surveys to get paid? He remembers when I was doing those. I got to where I was doing a lot of them. I was making almost $100 a month. I was putting in lots of hours. It was not worth what I was getting paid.
I tried to do them. Nobody cared about my opinion.
I may or may not have lied on some of them because I knew my real opinion wouldn't count because I'm a white female that was a married mom in middle income. Like, I'm not going to lie. I lied to get money off of those because they didn't care about our opinion. They wanted the opinion of the person who was not the average Joe, which we were average. We weren't poor. We weren't super rich. We both worked. We were white. Like, there's no hiding it that we're too white at the time. Whatever mid-20s are called. No one really valued our opinion that much. So I remember, I can vividly see it. I'm sitting at my little desk in the corner because I worked from home for a while with the company I was with, like an actual 9 to 5, get paid hourly. So I had a little desk set up in our little, I call an apartment. He says we just lived in somebody's basement, whatever you want to call it. I did surveys for 50 cents for a 35-minute survey. Yes. And then you do the stupid survey and you get to the bottom and they say, oh, well, you're not eligible for this one. I'm like, well, you couldn't tell me that before I spent 30 minutes answering questions about baby food that I don't even care about? Yeah, those were not fun. But I would look at my to-do list, and I had every single thing, including fill out X amount of surveys, and then literally the very bottom it said it works. Like, if I have time, I'm going to hop on and message 10 people real quick. But then I was also the same one that turned around and was like, I'm not signing anybody. I'm working every day. Well, 10 minutes a day isn't really working every day if you're wanting to get full-time income, which is what I wanted. So, and we'll talk about that in a minute because there are definitely different levels of desire, and we're not hating on anybody. Like, you don't have to do this full-time. Now, a lot of the times, again, you can be anywhere from 1, 2, or 3. You can turn into number 4, which number 4 is the receptive one. They're the one that you talk to as a prospect, and they basically tell you, Jennifer was the number 4. She basically told me she had been looking for something like this. She had already been praying about it. I went through all the details with her. She jumped in and she actually did the training. She actually started working. We all know not everyone does that. She was ready. It happened to be the right time, the right place. She, God had already laid it on her heart to do this. I just happened to be the vehicle that came along. And I might be getting it wrong, Jennifer. I think that was you. If not, just kidding. It was somebody else, but your name is the one popping in my head right now. So if that happens, we count ourselves blessed, but that is not 99% of people that join this company. But if you are a 1, 2, or a 3, and you can get over that and turn yourself into a 4, those are the people that go, okay, Jennifer, I am right, good. I was like, crap, I hope I just didn't say that's not even you. Those are the people that go far with this company. I can tell you, I turned myself into a 4, but it took me a little over 3 years to finally get serious about, not coasting and getting out of my comfort zone. It took him watching me about 3.5 years to finally jump in and start doing it himself.
Because every every 30-year-old male loves to take selfies. It's just part of our DNA,
Billy's on here. He can tell you how much he loves taking selfies.
I truly hate it, but I do it.
And that's a comfort zone. Now, I'll tell you, I will take selfies now, mainly with my kid, because she's cute, and so it's easy to take a picture with her and not feel stupid. But when I started this, guys, I was well over 300 pounds, didn't know how to do my makeup, didn't know how to fix my hair.
Me neither.
And I was so self-conscious, I never took selfies. If I did, I used this stupid Snapchat filter and put dog ears on them. Sometimes my memories pop up, and I literally cringe. I'm like, oh, why did I ever post that? Why did I think that was cute? But we do. We just do. I'll tell you, Savannah, I don't think she's on here. I think she's out doing something tonight. She'd already told me she wasn't going to be on here. She fell into somewhere in the categories. I'm not sure 100% where. But I can tell you she's now a 4. And she is now somebody who's about to go diamond. And she's building in the right way. And she's working with people and not trying to run over people. I can tell you that she didn't find her first distributor for the first 6 months of her business. And not only that, she wasn't mass enrolling customers either. Things took a little longer for her. And that's not a slight on her. Everybody's journey is different with this. For me, I ran up to diamond pretty fast and I sat there for 3 years. Because I had some mindset issues that I had to get over. And part of that was running over my team instead of working and encouraging and inspiring people. For her, a lot of it was just the technical side of sealing the deal. I know Kim Flores, I don't know if you're on here yet. You may be watching the replay. But you're somebody that you are a Savannah. Like, you came in and you didn't take off right away and you didn't quit. You're doing, like, I'm seeing you do the exact same things that she did to get her where she is. And that's just keeping up on your mindset, and you're getting on the Zooms, and you're doing all the things, and you're trusting God to bring it to the goal that you're trying to get to. So the moral of this, all of, the 4 different types of distributors, 4 different types of soils, is to stop worrying about other people. Just worry about yourself. Don't worry about the critic. One of those, I believe it is the shallow one, usually. They're the ones that they join, and as soon as somebody's like, oh, you joined a scam, they quit. They block you. Sometimes they send their kit back. You can't find them the next day because they had no ground at all to stand on. They're kind of wishing along in the waves, hoping that nobody drug them under. And sure enough, when we started this, we had a family member tell us that we got scammed. And she told us, like, oh, my cousin did that, and she had to travel all over the USA, and they didn't pay her, and she lost a lot of money. Well, now I know that's false, because no one has to travel all over the country. That's not how we build this. But had I believed her and got out and ran scared, this would have never turned into what it did for us. So don't worry about the critics. Don't worry about all the other people. Don't worry about the people who aren't receptive. Don't worry about the people who, as soon as you message them, they block you. Don't worry about the people who comment on your ad, and as soon as you message them, they block you. Don't worry about the people that start, and you can't find them the next day because they already ran scared. All you can control is you sharing this with other people. And that's exactly, I saw this on a distributor, it makes me feel better. Yes, it literally is, you keep going. This is not something that looks the same for everybody. But I guarantee you're not successful when you quit. And people like to make fun of this, that get out of MLMs, and that's fine. But in reality, the only way you fail this is when you quit. There is no failing. You either are successful or you quit, which makes you a failure. That's it. Not everyone has the grit for this, and that's okay. Also, you will have situations where you may not have a large goal with this, and your enroller kind of pushes you out of the business because you're not working quote unquote hard enough, which is something we've seen. It's not how we run our team, but it is something we've seen. So that brings me to kind of the last part of this scripture. And again, I'm just taking all of this, and basically it gave me inspiration for the rest of this. And this is going to be for those of you who do have really big goals. I'm talking about you want to make $2,000 a month or more with this. So if that is you and you're brave, drop me down a 3 in the comments. And I'm not hating on anybody who's just here for shopping money or maybe like groceries once every month. Maybe you're looking enough to make 1 car payment a month. Maybe you're looking for enough to get your nails done, to get your hair done. Y'all, I get my hair done every 6 weeks. It's not cheap. So I'm not hating on you if that's why you joined this, okay? We will pray for you. You can always sit at our table. Like, if you're someone on here and you happen to be watching this and you're literally only here to use some of the products and feel like you're part of a community, we absolutely love you. Like, we do not push anybody to do more than what they're wanting to do. But I'm talking to the people right now for this last little section. Okay, Billy's a 3. So far, Jennifer's a 3. Wow, Jennifer, that's gutsy considering that you signed 2 days ago. So I'm excited that you said that. Annie Marie is a 3. Amber's a 3. Savannah's a 3, but she just got on here, so she don't know what we're talking about yet. Julia 3 is somebody who wants to make $2,000 a month or more with this. Brittany's a 3. She said, I've decided since the coronavirus pandemic that I need to go all in. So if you're a 3, you're somebody who you want full-time income with this. You need this to pay all your bills. You're the one that comes to me and you say, I don't have a job right now. I'm laid off. I need this to work. Like, and you're talking about you need this to work 100% for you. Alicia's a 3, Natasha's a 3. You're looking for $2,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month. Like, you are looking to play big.
100,000, million.
All that. Now, having said all that, insert income disclosure statement. I will put it down in the comments as soon as we're done here. Nobody is saying this is easy. If it was easy, every one of us would be making $1 million a month. And we'd have nobody to sell to because everyone would be in the business. It is simple. Y'all know the steps are super simple to follow, but it is not easy. So again, insert income disclosure statement. No one is telling you this is a pipe dream. That's a get rich quick thing. You got to work your butts off for this. But I'm talking to you guys who just told me you have a huge desire. Are you showing up huge? Because some of y'all, you complain a lot that it's not working for you. Were you on that 6 o'clock Zoom this morning? Are you on the 7 o'clock live right now? Or are you watching it a week later when you finally turn Netflix off? Are you getting on the family calls every Sunday night? Are you getting on the money calls every Monday night? Are you doing that daily list? Or are you complaining that it takes too long? Guys, it takes 2 to 3 hours to do that. If you're wanting to do this full time, 2 to 3 hours, last time I checked, is not a full-time job.
I wish I only worked for 2 to 3 hours. That'd be nice.
Right. Now, I'm not saying any of this to be mean. And like I said, if you're not looking to do this full-time, this isn't directed at you. Like, you can get on one Zoom a month if you want and just hang out with us. That is perfectly fine. What I'm saying is if you're going to complain, even just to yourself, some of y'all don't complain to me, but even if you're just complaining to yourself, but you're not checking off all those little boxes, you don't really have a right to complain because you cannot expect huge results when you're not willing to show up in a huge way. Is it fun to get up and be on a 6 o'clock Zoom? Heck freaking no. Not even a little bit. But is it worth it when I can sit down at 8:30 and pretty much all my work is done for the day and I have the rest of the day for my kid and for my husband, and I can actually have a meal on the stove or in the oven when he comes home and still have worked a full day's work? Yes. Now again, this is not at all to be mean. Make sure I am saying all of this stuff right here. But this is something that if you have legit reasons why you're not getting on these Zooms or getting on the family calls, 1000% understand. For example, if you're working and you're already at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm not telling you to go tell your boss you can't start going until 8 because you got to be on a 6 o'clock Zoom. Okay? I get it. Like, I'm not being mean to anybody who legitimately can't do this. For us, for example, we don't get on the Sunday night and the Monday night calls because we're in bed by 8:30. The calls start at 8, 9 o'clock on Sunday. But I get my butt up, and that's the first thing I watch the next day. Now, I would say that's a gray area because can I change going to bed an extra hour? Yes. So if I did not have the discipline to get up and make sure I watched the replay the next day, then I would say I'm not all in if I'm not changing my sleep habits to get on that call. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some of you guys tell me, I can't get on the 7 o'clock Zooms because that's dinner time. Okay, one, you can change dinner time. But you don't have to if you have the discipline to do that hour of work before or after dinner. It isn't the fact that you're getting on the Zoom, it's the fact that that's how you're holding yourself accountable. So some of you guys need to have that hard conversation with your spouse and you need to change dinner time because you don't work if you don't get on the Zoom. Some of you guys don't get on the Zoom, but you still make sure you get that second hour of work in. Because again, guys, you can do the whole list in 2 hours. So if you do the one at 6 in the morning, the one at 7 o'clock at night, you've done the entire list. Now, it may take a little more when you're new. I get that. And you may not get it all done. Don't beat yourself up either. Like, set realistic goals knowing how fast you can work. But if you're all in, you've got to show up like you're all in. So, again, nobody misunderstand me that you need to go tell your husband, like, to go order McDonald's because you got to get on 7 o'clock Zooms. You need to have a conversation with him and come to some kind of compromise. Or you need to just man up and have the discipline yourself to make sure you get that hour of work in without having to be on the Zoom to be accountable. And then speaking of spouses, some of y'all work with your spouses on this. I work with my husband. So your level of desire may not be his level of desire. And just like we tell our teams, we love you on here. We don't care if you want to do this full time. Like, you need to be accountable to you. Our spouse has to have that same, what do you call it? Not benefit of the doubt, but when you are being nice and kind to somebody and letting them work their own speed. Same understanding, that's a good word for it. You have to have the same level of understanding with your spouse. So we joke about it. We joke about he may be going to a schedule where he works 9 to 5 instead of 6 a.m. to like 4 to 5 p.m. And we joke about like, oh, are you going to get on the 6 o'clock Zoom then? He may not. I don't know. We haven't sat down and had a serious conversation, but I have no right to get mad at him for not having that level of desire if that's not his level of desire. And especially those of y'all who've been in this a long time. I've been working this for 4 years. Now, again, I didn't work it very, very well for some of those years, but I was working it. He's basically a brand new distributor. So we may not have the same level of desire, and I have no right to be mad at him for not having that level. Now, he has a higher level of desire than I did 2 months into the business, because that's about what he is, about 2 months into the business, consistently. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see when those 6 o'clocks roll around if he wants to get up and get on them or not. So, let me make sure again that I'm actually covering everything that I said I was going to cover. It'd be nice if I could read some of this. Alright, so yeah, we don't want to pressure you guys at all. Basically, if you're happy with the results that you're getting, keep doing what you're doing. We're not here to back you into a corner and point our finger and say you're not working hard enough. This isn't about us, it's about you. But if you're saying that you want more, you're going to have to do more. It's as simple as that. So, the last thing I want to leave you with, did you want to say? Oh, you like breathed. The last thing I want to leave you with is Matthew 13:58 says, and he did not many works because of their unbelief. So, my advice, and our advice, he would agree with me in this, is work as hard as you possibly can, and then ask God to magnify your efforts. Now again, I think 99% of our team are active Christians, meaning you don't just go to church a couple times a month, or not a month, you don't just go to church a couple times a year, like you have devotions, you have a relationship with him. So me saying ask God to do this for you is not a foreign concept. I don't think it's going to not offend, because I don't really care if it offends you, like this is my faith, but it's not going to confuse any of you. I'll be honest, we have rubies, emeralds, and diamonds on our team, and people that are going diamond written down, and I pray for those people daily, weekly, if not daily. Some of you are daily, some of you are weekly. It really depends on how much you've shared with me, and just depends on a lot of different things. I know for a fact he's prayed for several of you guys, because he'll ask me for a list of like, okay, who's working on this month? I want to pray for them. Who's doing this month? I want to pray for them. I'm not going to sit and tell you that if you lock yourself in a room for 12 hours a day and work this business, but you don't ask God to do this, that you're going to fail. This is a numbers game, guys. You can do this 100% without God. Now, is it going to be as pretty or as enjoyable? No. We have talked to people that are at where we're at, and I looked at my numbers tonight just to see. We have signed up 269 distributors and just under 800 customers. We've worked our butts off. We're in the top 1% of the company. We did not get here fast. We had an honest conversation about 6 months into this business, We had some people that were doing this, and they got out of It Works, and they basically said, oh, It Works destroyed our marriage. But come to find out, she was working 12 to 16-hour days, locked in a room, letting somebody else come over and basically raise her kid that she said she wanted to do this business for, and told her husband to go order McDonald's, you can wash your own underwear, like, didn't really talk to him for about 12 months that it took her to get to where we're at now, 4 years later. And we had an honest, frank conversation with each other of, we would rather get there very slowly and have a good marriage at the end of it, and a good family unit, and a good team, because part of the reason this other person left is all her team ended up quitting also, because she was running them the same way she was trying to run herself. Then get to the end of it and be millionaires, but not have a family anymore. This business ultimately is about money. Yes, you get relationships, you get friendships, you can do a lot of good, and I'm not saying that money is bad. There's a whole other Zoom on that we'll go into. Money, you can do a lot of good things for a lot of people, and we give back a lot to other people with the money that we earn. However, if you could tell me I could be a millionaire, but I wouldn't have my husband and my daughter anymore, I would say, okay, let's go stand in some food lines. Not everyone would say that. We would. So if I get to the top of this company, but we don't get to the top of this company together, I don't want to be at the top of the company. And I think most of you, that is also your story. See some comments. I would not want to do it without him. And that's good. And Jennifer, you're brand new. You're going to have some honest, hard conversations with your husband and figure out, okay, you may not see the vision yet. Talking to your husband, he may not see none of this. It took him a while to come around. So there are things that you can do as a new distributor to make him basically believe in you and believe in the system. If you're constantly on your phone and you're kind of telling him, like, honey, I'm trying to work my business, he's probably not going to be all supporting you. There are times when I would sit out in the living room and I'd be on my phone 24/7. And he'd be like, are you going to bed? No, honey, I'm trying to work the business. And I would just be short with him and not want to talk to him because I was being taught you work 24/7. Like, you can talk to your kids and your husband tomorrow. Once the saying was when I started, work really hard for 2 years. Don't worry about your family, basically. And in 2 years, you can get all that time back. Y'all, you don't ever get the time back. Okay? Now, in a perfect world, I work for 2 years. I'm a millionaire, and my husband and my kid are super happy at the end of that 2 years without me being a part of them. In a really crappy, messed up world, at the end of that 2 years, we're getting a divorce because I didn't talk to him for 2 years and I treated him like crap. So, all that to say, all those numbers are not reflective of us or the work that we've done. It's reflective of the work that he's done for us. Like, I pray every single day, take my efforts and magnify them. Take my efforts and anoint them. Like, I literally pray for God to bring me across people who are receptive, who are ready to jump in and they see the vision. So is it possible without God? Absolutely. We see it in network marketing all the time. You do not have to be a Christian. You don't have to partner with God to be successful at this. Is it pitiful without God? Usually. Usually the people at the top are not happy. They have all the money in the world, but they're not happy. They're not happy in their relationships. They don't have good relationships with their kids. They're shipping their kids from mom to dad every couple of weeks because that's what they worked. That's what they destroyed while they were building their business. And I'm not saying anything bad about single parents or any of that stuff. Like, every walk of life happens with this. I'm saying if you have a good family unit, don't destroy that with network marketing. So what I would do if I were you is, again, work as hard as you possibly can, but then ask God to work with you and to partner with you. So at the end of this, even if it takes you 10 years, you can do more with God on your side. Absolutely. I believe you can. I don't believe that we can do this without God. I believe if we ever decided to sit and be like, I'm going to do this without you, he would shut the doors to our business tomorrow. That's what I personally believe. I need to message you. Yes, Glory, come say hi. The kid wants to say hi, speaking of family. So if you have questions, feel free to message them. Or, comment below or message them. My kid's coming out to say hi to you guys real quick. Like I said, I just happened to... Hi! I just happened to get this laid on my heart when I was outside doing my own devotions, and it translated to business perfectly. So we hope you have an awesome rest of your Friday. This only took 35 minutes. I told him about 30 minutes or so. I feel like we were kind of right on schedule. I agree with you. I need to message you. Okay, perfect. So have an awesome rest of your Friday. Brett's going to come hit finish if you don't mind. Finish and save.
Real quick, part 2.
Just kidding. And everyone's already out.
That's fine. So, real quick, when she was talking about
he said you.
doing praying and ask God to help. So part of this business is, and allowing God to take over it is being coachable. I hear Tanya tell new distributors,
I love that word. Are you coachable?
Are you coachable? And you know what it honestly boils down to? Is pride. How prideful are you? Like, and that's something that you honestly have to look into. Like, even just with myself, like, how prideful am I that I can't go out and step because what people might think of me, or I'm too good to do that? Are you too
good to do the dishes?
Are you too prideful to take coaching, to learn? Are you too prideful to work? Oh, I don't really need it. I'm okay. I'm too good for it. So that's just my thoughts. I mean, it's from, okay, yes, I'm a new distributor and I've only been in this 2 months, but I've seen it.
But he's not. He's got a leg up on a lot of new distributors.
But I've seen it, and I've seen where it goes, and I know that some of the people that don't make it in this are the ones that don't take coaching, that they think they know everything. I know she's probably not going to want to hear this, but I know one of the reasons why it took us so long to get where we are was because she thought she knew everything.
I did. I told y'all that a few times.
She literally would stay up for hours trying to write her own things and do it her own way and just
make my own team page. Remember when I did that?
Yes. So
he laughed at me because he saw it and there was like nobody in there that was interacting in anything.
And think about it. I'm a husband and I'm supposed to be the man of the house, and my pride, I literally have to ask my wife, hey, how do I do this? What do I post today?
I get that every day now. What do I post
That's not
today?
Embarrassing. What do I post today? And she'll tell me, go look it up. Or she'll help me occasionally, and if you guys need us to reach out or help, whatever, fine. But I still got to get over myself.
Don't ask me to spell check. I only do that for him.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I told him today, I said, I'll make your post look like a 4th grader didn't write it. He goes, I'm at least a 6th grader.
Spelling is not my forte. But just how, and a lot of you on here are doing a great job, are coachable. But ask yourself, every day, am I doing exactly what I can to make this grow? Like for me, honestly, you know what my big distraction was? TV.
I know what it was.
I love TV. If you love TV, drop a 2 in the comments because I don't think we've done that number yet. I love TV. I grew up watching TV a ton. Like I literally was the fat kid who sat on the couch watching TV. That was me. And it might help that sports aren't on right now. I don't know.
I'm praying sports don't ever come back. Some of y'all about to come after me for that, but
you
I have a husband thanks to no sports.
I literally called my cable provider and told them to turn it off. The only thing I have is Disney Plus. She has Prime, and we have CBS.
I have Hulu because I watch Law and Order SVU. I trick myself. If I get so many messages sent out, I get to go watch an episode of Law and Order while I'm responding to messages.
But it's addicting. Literally, you turn on, and the next thing you know, it's several hours later, and you say, oh, I don't have time to do it. Not that you don't have time, and I'm not saying I can't relax for a little bit and watch TV. I may go watch TV right after we're done with this, after we eat dinner.
It's Friday night. We probably will. This is usually our once a week TV time with family.
But what's holding you back? Because I know obviously a lot of you want this. A lot of you want 3s. But what's holding you back? I know my thing was TV. That was holding me back. And you know what I had to do? I literally had to pretty much get rid of it.
Oh, some of them that have been on here longer that you haven't watched. I would get on these Zooms like this, and every time I would talk about a distraction, for me, it was TV. for probably a good 18 months of weaning myself off not watching TV all the
I
time.
got her addicted.
I watch good shows. He watches crap.
I watch sports.
What are some of the crappy ones that you watch? Malcolm in the
I
Middle.
watch Big Bang. I love
Big Bang Theory. That old TV show Gilmore Girls.
No, not Gilmore Girls.
Goldbergs.
That's not an old TV show.
Like it's set in the olden days. It's set in the 80s.
I love throwback stuff. That's just me.
Stupid crap.
But Rabbit Trail, we're done. That was my thoughts. If you wanted to hear them, some people like my thoughts. Some people don't care. I don't really. Doesn't bother me either way.
But yeah, like he literally hit it on the head. This isn't about us. It isn't about us telling you to work harder. If you're liking the results and you're liking your paychecks, keep doing what you're doing. Like everyone is allowed to be in this. It doesn't matter what your desire level is. But if you don't like your results and you're wanting big money, this is where you need to look at yourself and say, am I putting in everything I can be putting in, or am I making excuses? And again, there are legit reasons why maybe you're in a different season of life. Someone messaged me earlier and said, I want to get on the 6 o'clock Zooms, but I have a 3-month-old baby that doesn't sleep through the night. You're in a different season of life. That's not an excuse, okay? Unless you want to sleep in your bed with earplugs and let your baby scream all night, which I don't suggest, you're not getting on the 6 o'clock Zooms. This is why you're not in charge of that. So I'm not, some of y'all, I'm going to say 1% of you have legit reasons why you're not working this harder than you are. And that's okay. The other 99%, like, you need to take a hard look in the mirror and realize you're the reason you're not getting the results that you want.
Right, like last year, I was working on the average 74, 75 hours a week, plus an hour drive time, so I almost really did not have any time during the day to really do anything. And that's okay. But you know what? I got out of that. I forced myself to get out of that, because literally I had the opportunity to work tomorrow, but I decided not to. And we're going to have family time and we're going to work. We're
going to go set up a vacation Bible school at our church. So he's so excited about that.
Oh, ecstatic.
But yeah, so we're going to hop off here, give you guys the rest of your Friday. Oh, you guys are funny. So he's going to hit the end button. We will upload this on our YouTube channel. That way, if you want to share it with someone that's not in here, you're more than welcome to. You have to hit the end button.
I do, don't I? Epic fail.
Oh, I'm not even going to edit that part out for YouTube either. Hit finish and then hit save. Don't hit post.
You want to see my beautiful face.
Hit finish and then bring me